Have you ever had an experience that was so out of your ordinary, you wondered whether you dreamt it? You wondered whether to share it, because in doing so, you knew it would leave you open and vulnerable. Maybe you were like me, a good girl. You decided to keep it buried, hidden in the dark, never to be discussed, never to be told. Until now. Now that you're in a room full of strangers, thousands of miles away from home, you decide that now's as good a time as any to share your story. So my story began on an ordinary day. I just put my newborn son and my 3-year-old daughter down for a nap. And as I walked up the stairs, I suddenly became aware of a noise. It was quiet to start, but gradually got louder and louder and louder. And as I stood at the top of the stairs, there was this noise, this unbelievable noise that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end and my heart beat loudly in my chest. This was a noise of pain, anguish, and sorrow. It sounded like an animal was being torn limb from limb. And as I stood there and wondered what animal makes that kind of noise and why is that animal in my home near my babies, I suddenly saw her. Standing in the doorway, there was my 3-year-old little girl, with a look of sheer horror, fear, and confusion going across her face, and a solitary tear rolling down her cheek. And it was in that instant, that very instant, as my legs buckled beneath me and I slid down the cold, hard wall behind me, that I realized that that noise, that sound, had been coming from my lips. It'd been coming from my mouth. It'd been coming from me. And as I sat on the floor, I could hear my baby boy crying in his bedroom. But I didn't have the physical energy to get up and go to him. So I just opened my arms and allowed my little girl to climb on board. And as I wrapped my arms around her and whispered words of comfort and reassurance, I'm wondering what on earth has just happened. Why was I making that noise? Why was that noise coming from me? Now she in turn showered me with love, kisses, and hugs. And it gave me the physical energy I needed to get back up, take her by the hand, and go and get her baby brother. Now the afternoon continued as normal, an ordinary afternoon. We laughed, we played, we had fun. And all the time I'm sitting there thinking, why was I making that noise? Why was that scream coming out of me? This should be the happiest time of my life. Now looking back, it's quite funny really. My soul knew exactly what I needed. I was a control freak. I was all about perfection, rules, regulations. Everything was executed with military precision. Although, to be honest with you, my husband will still say to a certain degree it is. My soul knew if I was ever going to discover my true purpose, I had to get out of my own way. I'd been brought up, like probably many of you, that I needed to be a good girl. I needed to follow what society had taught me, not go outside of the boundaries. I had to follow the norm. And that creative soul, that bit of me that wanted to fly high and experience all that life has to offer, that needed to be kept in a cage tucked deep within me. Now, thinking back, I had postnatal depression. I didn't realize it at the time. There was an internal battle raging on inside of me. Everything that I knew about myself had flown out the window. Everything that I thought about myself had disappeared. But we all have those moments where we wobble, where our world seems to unravel and we start to question absolutely everything. But isn't that the point? A world without contrast, how do we determine good from bad? A world without contrast, how do we determine the next step to where we're going? Now, I wouldn't wish depression on my worst enemy. Neither would I wish any of my pivotal moments on anybody else. But I will tell you, it doesn't define me. What it does is it empowers me to use that experiences to help others. All too often I hear women say, I'm just ordinary. I have nothing to offer. But I got a little secret. We are all extraordinary women. Our life experiences, the way that we view the world, every person we bump into, every interaction we have leaves an impactful footprint, sometimes without us even knowing it. But imagine if we did know it. Imagine if you were awakened to the fact that every interaction that you had would have an impact, not only for your family and your friends, but it would have an impact on your communities, your towns, your cities, your countries, and possibly the world. That those experiences that bring you fear at the very thought of sharing could actually bring somebody else hope, wisdom, and inspiration. That you could have an impact on the world. You could contribute to the world. That those experiences that you think make you small, in actual fact, it's completely the reverse. Your pivotal moments provide you growth. Your pivotal moments provide hope. Your pivotal moments impact on the world. Now, at the end of the day, as I've said, we're all extraordinary women. At the end of the day, we want to use those experiences to help others. It's down to us to use those experiences to help others. Cynthia Ocello once wrote, "In order for a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The seed cracks, the shell opens, and everything changes. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete and utter destruction." Now, for some, they might look at me and think that my postnatal depression was complete destruction. To a certain degree at the time, I felt shame, fear, and regret. It was something that I wanted to hide away and never share with anybody else. But actually that experience, that very experience, that allowed me to learn more about myself than anything else that I'd ever experienced up until that point. I discovered my authentic me. I discovered my purpose. I discovered that all of those experiences that we want to hide and tuck away and never show, those are the ones that you need to show. Those are the ones that you need to share. Those are the ones that are going to make a difference. So it's your time, right now. It's your mission to step up, step in, and be visible as the experts in your life that you truly are. No one else can do that for you, only you. Now, what I learnt over 9 years ago was about my authentic me. It was about my true purpose. And it is my mission to ensure that that gets out. It is my mission to make sure that every single woman on this planet understands that they can make an impactful footprint on the world. That every woman understands that they can contribute to the world. That they can be the change that they wish to see in the world. It is no longer acceptable, as I've said, to think that those experiences make you small. It is definitely the reverse. And all I can say from my perspective is what I learned 9 years ago is just the beginning. My story doesn't end there. It will continue to the day I die, because I truly believe, I understand that my job is to contribute to the world. Because I really, really believe that united we're strong. Together we can make a difference, one woman at a time. So my wish for you is that you take that on board. And my wish for you is you share those experiences and that you understand as a collective force, we can contribute and leave an impactful footprint on the world that has never been seen before. So what are you waiting for? Time to get up, get out there, and do it. So thank you very much for your time. It's much appreciated. Thank you.